like the Australian Taxation Department is still trying to get their head around crypto and NFTs as it is, let alone something like this as a game. And yes, I have purchased some imaginary property in this game, and that has generated me an in-game currency that I've then sold for USD, and then I've taken that USD out, and I've paid fees in Upland. I've paid fees to a platform called Tilia. I've then sent that to my PayPal, and I've paid fees to send that to my bank account. So it's very, very messy. So I know when I did my tax return this year, I just took whatever the Australian equivalent was that I pulled out. I just put that down as income with a zero cost basis. So I paid the maximum amount of tax possible for that. Did I sell myself short there? Probably. There's probably a way to do it where you could say, well, this actually cost me such and such, and then I pulled out such and such, but it's just so bloody confusing. Especially when you're talking about one property that you might have, like one of my Wall Street properties or something like that, that generates a lot of dividends. It also gets a lot of visitor traffic. Like, how do you classify all that? You're going to separate what is dividends, what's visitor traffic. You're going to put it all in. Are you going to have to work at a conversion to Australian dollars to work at a cost, a cost basis for how much this cost when you went to sell it? It's just way too confusing. So that's why I just went, no, I'll just eat the maximum and just say this cost me $0 and I sold it for $10 or whatever. Yeah. And a lot of people don't think of that. If you're just pulling USD out wildly, it's whatever you're connected to. You've done KYC in Upland to be able to be part of the USD out system. You've done KYC through Tilia to be part of that system. If it's linked to your PayPal account, you've done KYC to there, and they all report to the tax department. So, yeah, a business in a game is still a business for tax. Yeah, absolutely. I did. I talked to my sister kind of towards the end of last year. I was nearly going to register an ABN, an Australian business number, myself, just for pulling out the USD out. I probably maybe will. And that's another point too, where that gets a bit tricky as well. Like when Samurai Aquatics and Daycore had their first sales, that first bank of sales was USD sales. Now, all of that USD went into buying Spark at the next Spark week so that we could, manufacture more. So that currency hasn't come out of the game. So is that a taxable event? Should you have paid taxes on that? Who knows? Yes. Yeah, it's a future problem. Not until it comes out. Yeah, that was my thinking as well. Like, yeah, that's how I've run with it. That's how I will play it out. If until it actually comes out of the system. But then that's not how crypto works. So I just don't know. I really don't know. Crypto works with every single trade you do, even if it's a coin swap. That is a capital gains taxable event. So if you've swapped an in-game currency, you've essentially swapped your in-game currency UPX. You've swapped that for kind of in-game currency USD. You haven't taken that out, but there still is a transfer there. So I don't know. Yeah. Just tread cautiously with all of that and try and capture as much data as you can. I know it's impossible to track what I have bought, sold over what am I now? Over 4 years playing Upland. Imagine trying to track every transaction you've done in the game and relating that to Australian dollars via US dollars. It'd just be impossible. So every single dollar that I take out, yeah, that's all accounted for. Wonder if the tax trackers will add Upland like they do for CoinSpot or Binance. Yeah, that's what we don't know. We don't know. It's on the blockchain. So theoretically, if the regulators were to come down and say, yes, all of those were capital gains event, who knows? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it will. I think it's going to be more, it's more Second Life. I think so too. But, just I always try to plan for the worst, hope for the best and plan for the worst. That's the saying, isn't it? So, to cover yourself. But yeah, if you're pulling any money out, just make sure you're covering all that, because yeah, PayPal will report. Always pay your taxes. Yes, the tax man, tax ladies, they've got very long memories. And especially the other part where it gets a bit greasy too is they put in all these retroactive tax laws. So who knows? I think I got absolutely shafted by the tax man who gave me advice about my crypto buying and spending directly. This was a one-on-one conversation with the tax department. They just gave me completely incorrect advice. And then I spent the next 2 years trading with that advice, which was all wrong. So even if you get the information, it might not be the correct information 2-3 years later. So yeah, the more that you can document it all, the better for your future self. Try and protect your future self as much as possible. This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.